Now, you growing up in that area when you did, it was a pretty wild place.
Yeah, it was pretty rough back then. And I got into a lot of trouble when I was a kid. I was rolling with the gang and doing drugs and doing crimes, and I almost got killed a few times and all that good stuff.
How was it? How was the family life? How was your mom, your dad? They're together. How many siblings? Which obviously we know one of your siblings.
We know Loudon, yeah.
We know Loudon.
Shout out to Loudon. So my parents got divorced when I was 4, and then my dad had a new family basically immediately. He moved to the beach and started over,
To the beach?
Yeah.
Like Santa Monica, where did he move to?
Just that way.
Okay, towards the west.
Yeah.
To the west.
I don't tell everybody where my family lives,
Yeah.
but he started over, and then my mom, she was working full time, and you're exhausted when you're working 40 hours a week, and then you have to come home to 3 kids, and you're single and driving an hour back and forth in the traffic, and we just didn't have enough guidance, and she didn't have enough help to raise us correctly.
So you was outside.
So we were outside. My brothers were in and out of juvenile hall, and I started drinking and doing drugs when I was like 12, and I was doing meth by like 15, and
ooh,
yeah.
This is gonna be a crazy question, but did you do meth before like
coke, like
the sex life and all that shit? Just because it seems crazy, like you went straight to meth, and it's like 15 is very young.
Yeah.
Because
it was a transition. It was like first I did weed, and then I did liquor, and then I did straight into meth.
Oh my God. No, it's because I'm trying to think like.
Well, like when you're in that life, especially you're talking about gangs and stuff, meth is kind of normalized, right? You probably didn't realize it was that crazy even.
No, I knew it was crazy.
You knew it was crazy.
Oh, you knew it was bad?
Yeah, I knew it was bad. And people that were like my friends, or like people that I knew, they weren't really my friends, just people that I hung out with, they were really worried about me when they found out that I was like going that direction, And
was it like late 15, or it was like you just turned 15, you're doing meth?
I mean, I didn't write down the date, so I don't
I'm was it before the quinceañera?
No, it's because I'm trying to think.
I don't really remember.
It's because you got to put it like this, right? Like 8th grade, you're 13, bro.
Yeah, you turned 14 in 8th grade.
And then you go to like I'm trying to put it together. Like, are you smoking meth before you start high school or after high school?
No, it was in high school.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm trying to. That's why I asked that question. Like,
yeah.
Because you feel me, like, especially at a young age, you feel me, like I know I lost my virginity at a young age, but I lost my virginity before I started doing like bad shit. So I'm thinking like
mine was around the same time.
I'm like, oh my God, were you like save me? That's why I asked that question. I didn't mean to like for it to be like wild, but I'm just like,
when did you lose your virginity?
No,
like, all right, Duno. Like,
no, not like that. I was asking in the sense to where like that's how powerful drugs can be. Where like, because I met kids in juvenile hall, and they were like, first time I smoked meth was like 7th grade. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like trying to sing to like some music and like jack off. Like you were thinking you were smoking meth, dog? Like,
nah, like that.
My brothers were like doing meth already in like 7th grade and 8th grade.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
But it's the same for me. Like growing up, like West LA, like drugs are a big part of the culture at a early ass age. You feel me? So like, we were getting fucked up at 12, 13 years old. Like,
no, and then don't get me wrong.
I was trying to
not do it.
Well, I was trying to fuck when I was 12. Like,
off the meth? Off the meth?
Hell yeah.
That's crazy. Like
meth makes it you.
Look, and
I was never into that. I don't know.
Meth and sex. Like, we're not promoting meth and sex, you guys. We're just saying, I'm not saying Reverie or less we're doing that. When I asked the question, I was just wondering, like, as a young woman.
That's my first thought when I was on meth, was like sex. Instantly,
but
instantly.
There's a question for you guys, because I didn't, my dad is a drug addict till this day. Been a drug addict my whole life, grew up around a lot of drug addicts. And I think seeing that, I was scared that maybe I'll get addicted too. I didn't understand how people didn't like to sleep and eat. It was always like a question to me. So like you doing that at such a young age, how do you like, cause okay, you do see it, but when and this is just saying, like when you see it on a guy, it kind of feels a little more normal. But when you're saying 15, it's like, damn, this is a 50-year-old girl that's stuck on meth. That's crazy.
Well, would you say were you kind of a tomboy, low key? Like,
I was for sure a tomboy.
Yeah.
Now today I'm in a dress, but I mean, even you saw me 10 years ago in the beginning of my career. I always wore big sweats and a beanie and a big shirt. Like I barely started stepping into my femininity recently within the last few years of my life. And the reason being is that I feel like when I was younger, I didn't have my dad and I was in a crazy environment, so I had to be in touch with my masculinity. I couldn't be like, oh, delicate little flower, because I was running the streets getting shot at and getting in fights, you know? So I had to be fucking tough. And also I'm the oldest sibling from my two brothers that I grew up in the same household with. So I was always like the protector, you know? So that's why I was not really in touch with, I was not girly when I was a kid. Like I never wore pink. I was always like a thugging, you know? I was always really rough around the edges. But now that I'm older and I'm not like kicking it in crazy situations and I'm, you know, in more stable environments, I'm more stable in myself, I can now embrace my femininity and I feel okay and I feel safe being like this, you know? Because, I mean, when I grew up, where I grew up, it just was not a possibility for me, you know?
Is it, interesting. Do you ever wish you were, though? Like more feminine as when you were younger? Like do your makeup, nails done, quinceañera, hair done.
I mean, I would do my nails and I would do like lip liner and eyeliner.
Oh, Sharpie it out?
She for sure had eyeliner.
The Sharpie was like this. It had an angle and everything.
For sure had an angle. But no, I've never looked back and wished I was more girly. No,
well,
not really.
It kept you safe.
It kept me safe, yeah.
It's what you needed at the time.
Yeah, and also I have 6 brothers.
6?
Yes, so being around that too, it was a lot of masculine energy, and so I had to be fucking tough.
Oh, so your brother weren't feminist?
No, fuck no. You should see if anybody
Reverie be walking by, they just slap the shit out of her head.
For sure, all the time. If anybody saw the group chat with me and my siblings, we would all be canceled.
Yeah.
For sure. Like,
oh, wow. It was wild.
Career
was wild.
over.
Yeah, we'd be fucking bullshitting. Like, I love my family, but like we're a very toxic family, so we're just talking shit all day in the group chat, and that's how I was growing up. Like,
and then you're the only girl.
No, I have one sister also.
One sister.
So there's 2 girls and 6 boys.
Is she very feminine?
You know what? She's more feminine than I was at her age for sure, but she is definitely a little bit in touch with her masculinity more than the average girl as well. Yeah. But we didn't grow up in the same household, so she didn't have to be like tough like I did. Well, she grew up on the beach with my dad and with her mom, so they were a more stable household than mine was, you know, so they grew up very differently.
Even though like knowing you back then, because like that's the Rev that I met, was like you were still like, and look, you still have a vibe. I ain't gonna hold you that like you don't take no shit. Like you'll snap on somebody quick. Like that Nella will come out in an instant if somebody says something to you that doesn't resonate or whatever. But
only if I need to. You know? I'm not like a snapper. I'm not always like fighting. You know,
no, unless you want to get down.
I literally the first time I met, she was about to get down.
With you?
No, not with me.
I was like, you were gonna squabble lush?
No,
I was gonna squabble. Yeah.
She was about to squabble though. But regardless of that, you did always like. I want to.
I forgot about that.
I want to encourage you to realize that you did have femininity back then as well, and like you've always been like a beautiful girl. You know what I mean, a woman. So it's like, did you kind of feel like that? Did you know that you were like super pretty always?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
I was like, where's this question going? But I like that question a lot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, only until the last like few years of my life have I realized that I'm actually really beautiful. And I feel like I'm really aging gracefully, not even just like physically, even though I mean physically too, but more like
you're still young as fuck.
Yeah, but you know, in this industry, people act like you hit 30 and you're like a dinosaur, you know, and I don't have like any surgeries or any fillers or anything like that, so I'm just like thugging it out as myself, you know, and not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, I totally understand why women do that, you know. But anyways, I say all that to say that it's more like my essence that attracts people now. Like because even when people don't know who I am, like when I'm in the streets or I'm at like if people don't know who I am, I see people looking at me. I see people wanting to speak to me. And
all eyes on me.
Yeah, like but that didn't used to happen as much as it does now, you know. And I think it's more because of my essence before, and because like I said, I'm more in touch with my femininity now.
But
before,
you're also
nobody's gonna come talk to me if I'm like, you know,
and then you guys are. She's saying this because we're starting the interview. She's like, "Can I move this mic? I gotta like sit up straight."
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.